Hey, good Wednesday afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majeski back with you here in the North Georgia Majestic Weather Studios with your weather update here on your August the 20th, 2025. Well, we're going to be tracking some rains here across North Georgia here for this afternoon and going into this evening. I'll give you an update on the rain chances going into the weekend as well. We're also going to give you the latest on Hurricane Erin, which is getting stronger, a very impressive looking storm. It's a large one. It's going to be kicking up a lot of heavy wave and a lot of heavy surf there along the east coast of the United States, especially up toward North Carolina. I'm going to give you a live look up there. And we're going to give you the latest on the fake fall, the fall-like air mass that's coming at us for next week. I think you're going to really appreciate my 7-day numbers there. Now, before we get going, if you're watching here on YouTube, this is kind of our secondary system here. We're trying to get this channel going here a little bit better for you guys. So if you are in the North Georgia area and you can go ahead and subscribe to the channel, please do so at this time. Hit that notification bell so you're alerted on future content. And as always, if you ever have a weather-related question, please post it down below. Give me a thumbs up. It does help with a little YouTube algorithm. All right, let's go ahead and take a live look there in North Georgia. We're looking at Brasstown Bald. I love this camera. It's one of my favorites out there, although sometimes a little slow to load. There it goes. Seeing some sunshine, a few clouds out there across the area. Definitely the Smoky Mountains living up to its name today. A bit hazy out there for this afternoon. Let's take a look down toward Helen as well. Some sunshine, some clouds around. Again, watch out for some showers, guys. We'll see if they work into your area or not. I see there are some showers in the vicinity. I'm going to show you that here on the radar here in just a second, but we do have some showers around, so look out for that. In fact, we'll go ahead and pull up that radar right now. Take a look at that right there. As you can see, some of these showers popping up, and you see one there just north of Dawsonville, one near Dahlonega. Got another one over here in near Ellijay. We got some thunderstorms up near Rabun County, getting near Clayton as well. So things are starting to bubble up there this afternoon. There's a bit of a line of storms here. You got the severe weather over here in Huntsville right now, and these are drifting southward. So I'm anywhere on the northwestern side of the state. I'd say, basically take 575 and going this way, this whole corridor up here, I think it's probably the better chance of seeing some activity and a little more isolated there toward the northeast sections for this afternoon. So looking at your regional perspective there, you kind of see that line there shine up very nicely there with the scattered thunderstorms. You see it there across South Alabama as well here for this afternoon. And looking at this regional perspective here, boy, here's the visible imagery of our hurricane. What a beautiful looking system. Very large, very symmetrical looking here. It's really got its central core reorganized in here. And again, it's these outer banks in here. They're going to get the 60-mile-per-hour winds and probably up to 20-foot seas. That's what we're expecting in that area. So this is a live look in that area. The surf conditions here continue to go down. Hopefully those people there on the beach stay off the shore. Those are some very high wave heights. See, look at the size of the people down there. Look at the waves offshore. I think it gives you a perspective. The waves really coming up probably close to 10 feet, and they're really, really coming up here and causing some problems. So by the time we get to tomorrow morning, I'm expecting 20-foot plus seas there along the coast there. And offshore, that purple area, that's upwards of 45 to 50-foot seas offshore. So, I mean, again, a very big wind field. We're talking about hurricane force winds extending some 90 miles from the center. Tropical storm force winds some 265 miles from the center. So we're going to have a lot of beach erosion and rip currents, and hopefully folks stay the heck out of the water. Now, here's the path. Officially 110. I do expect by the 5 o'clock update, depending on when you watch this, it should be back to a major hurricane status. I think it may have a run at Cat 4, maybe. The pressure's down to 943. 944 is kind of the top end of a Cat 4, so if the pressure continues to fall, it may have a shot at it. But I think 120, 125 is a reasonable look for this storm to get forecast to. Again, there's the system there up there just off the Carolina coast getting organized, and then we're going to watch this one back here. I think this one's going to follow up behind this one, and then there's a third system behind that one. That one we'll watch a little bit later in the week. I'm not really worried about it for this report. We're kind of focusing in on Erin here predominantly here for this update. So here's that close-up look, that visible imagery. Talk about great symmetry. We got nice symmetrical storm, good outflow on all quadrants here. We got a nice central dense overcast starting to build there. I tell you, if that eye clears out completely before 11 o'clock tonight, I think we're going to make a run at Cat 4. I'm sticking to that. So we shall see if it comes true or not. Those shrink forecasts can be a little tricky sometimes. All right, so let's go take a look at our forecast here. Let's look at regional models. Again, we got some storms around for tonight. We're going to have a little bit more going into Thursday as well. You kind of see it there. It looks like a lot of it down to the south. I think tomorrow will be a little more isolated. And then we'll have a little more increased chance of rain going into Friday and Saturday. So the temperatures will back off. Again, we got 2 cold fronts we got to track that's going to be coming at us here as we go into this upcoming weekend. So let's go ahead and talk about that real quick. I'll go pull up that forecast map. I'm going to do a refresh on this real quick. So stand by here for a second as I notice it's missing a couple of maps. So I want to double check and make sure that this is correct for you guys. Let's just stand by there for a second. As we go take a look at it. There we go. That's more like it. Like I said, it looked like it was missing a little data. We just got to fix that real quick. So as we go into your Thursday, again, we got that one frontal system. This is the one that's picking up a hurricane. It's going to move it on out. And this is going to kind of get hung up across the south, waiting for that hurricane to kind of kick on out. And then on Friday, we'll have these little waves along that frontal bound. It'll keep the rain thread around it going into this Friday and Saturday. And then here comes the next front. This is the one we're waiting on right here. This is the one that's going to come in heading into Sunday. That's going to bring in that better range, bringing in that nice fall-like weather. Here, there goes Sunday. There's knocking on the front door there, and Monday it clears on through. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week are looking very, very good in there. There's Tuesday, there's Wednesday. Again, looking outstanding with that very fall-like air mass kind of setting up there across the south. So here's our forecast for tomorrow. Very summer-like again for tomorrow. About a 30% chance of rain there in Gainesville. Looks like 90-70. Again, any showers this evening will die down. We'll have a few clouds around for tomorrow morning. Upper 60s, low 70s. I barely had to tweak these numbers for tomorrow, so really not looking all that bad there. And as far as what we're going to see for the rest of the forecast period, here we go. Upper 80s, low 90s again. I barely had to tweak any of these numbers again. So what we had on Wednesday, just kind of a carbon copy going into Thursday. Regionally looking like this. How about Nashville, Memphis? Back down to normal for a change. 89 degrees. Hard to believe they were 100 degrees just a couple days ago. 92 in Columbus, 93 in Savannah, 89 in Charlotte, and 94 down in Jacksonville. And the 7-day forecast. Drum roll, please. Here we go. Check this out. All right, we got the temperatures backing off here into the 80s. Rain's the best chance for rain looks like on Saturday. Front comes through on Sunday. And then we'll probably tinker and fine-tune that forecast for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but clearly cooler. Look at that, I got 79-60 for Gainesville on Wednesday. That means your northern areas like Blue Ridge, Dahlonega, Ellijay, going over to Blairsville, Hiawassee. I'm thinking middle upper 70s for highs, overnight lows, middle to upper 50s. I think those are in the cards, and the higher elevations may see some 40s. I really think that's definitely in the cards as that cool air mass comes in for next week. So very fall-like. It's the fake fall, as we like to call it, because we know it's just a teaser, not sticking around, but kind of get you in the mood as we get ready to flip the calendar here to September, when everything becomes pumpkin everything, right? So anyway, that's y'all's update for today. Again, I appreciate you guys checking us out here on the YouTube channel. And if you can help this little growing endeavor, we're kind of doing this organically, a little at a time, but we're knocking on the door at 200 subscribers here on this little channel. So if you want to go ahead and please subscribe and make this part of your YouTube feed, anybody here watching across North Georgia, please do so. All right, you guys have a good day. Take it easy. Be good, stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow. You guys have a good day. Bye-bye.